Alrighty, howdy ho folks. Multiversal Medium here for another episode of Dread Delusion. Last time we left off, well, exploring the countryside, finding dead, demigods? Maybe just, like, young gods? The children of gods. One of the childs of gods. Whatevers. Freaking doing a bit of the main quest for this area. Seeing giant snowballs just fall down. Well, that was nice. You know, usual. This episode, I think we should let Oleg know about his missing kid. You find Oleg absorbed in some kind of word puzzle. He is sober, but when he glances up, you see bags under his eyes. You again. Have you come to throw in the towel? I found your daughter. Her name was Afra. Not yet. There's one more lead I need to investigate. I found your daughter. Her name was Afra. Oleg stares at you for a long time without visible emotion. You are trying to scam me. You just picked that out of some book you read. She'd be 36 this year. She worked on a farm in Istrik. She wanted to come home to Ferropolis, but the king denied her. She wanted to go to technical school, but they sent her to a factory. Then they took away her medicine, so she got fired. She asked the king to change her body, but it refused. At one point, she got arrested for wearing the wrong clothes. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Yeah. Choose any of these, honestly, and I don't think it's going to change much. I think... Oh, it's... Grievance for the living. Let's give him the nicest variant. She worked on a farm in Istrik. She wanted to come home in Ferropolis, but the king denied her. Oleg looks at the wall, starts to reach for a bottle, then stops. Afra. What kind of name is that? Must have been Genevieve's idea. Would never have chosen it. Well, use the past tense. But I assume it is not good news. Sorry your daughter is dead. I'm sorry your daughter has become corrupted. Tell him about Project Horoscope. Actually, it's complicated. Simplest news is that she's dead. The more effed up news is that a variant of her is corrupted, yeah. The horoscope nonsense is enough to incite a riot, but I don't think he'd get other people to join him, so, he deserves the info. His family is treated as guinea pigs, technically. That's not okay. Actually, it's complicated. Tell Oleg the whole story. From the cleanup camp to your confrontation with Sunel. At one point, his hands begin shaking, so he hides them in his lap. I had suspicions, of course, that my forgetting was no accident. We all know the guild changes people. Normal people, not just crooks and saboteurs. You are observant, you see signs everywhere. Only you can never be sure who is safe to tell. He shakes his head. Special project. I guess I ought to feel honored. They should have looked after her. Given her an easy job. A pension. At least an effing medal. Oh then, do you still have my locket? Silently hand it over. He takes the locket gingerly in both hands, as if afraid of breaking it, and bows his forehead against it for what feels like an eternity. Grievance for the living, and it's hard to consider a majority of what the other Afras are going through to be alive. Oleg looks up at you, clearly struggling for words. The way this ended is no fault of yours. You have given me answers, and I am in your debt. Wait a minute, this isn't over, or just remain silent. I don't think there's much more I can do. I really don't think there isn't much more I can do. It's... Listen, man, sometimes the corruption's a lot deeper than you can dig. And yeah, that's a pun to what the heck's going on in this kingdom. It's also just a showcase of how well ingrained and protected some effed up scenarios are. I don't accept them, I don't like them, but it's... Unless you can get a posse going, man, there's not much I can do. Remain silent. A debt like this can never be made square. But let me at least give you a down payment. Clockwork Smuggler's Key. This key was kindly donated by a smuggler we picked up. In a polite and civil conversation, he told us that it unlocked a stolen royal freight capsule, jettisoned from his ship while flying over one of those outlying islands nobody visits. The island is only reachable by air, but you can bet there's treasure in that capsule. It was going to be my retirement plan, till somehow the key vanished from our stockpile. Oh well, happens all the time. And now I must ask one more favor, not for me, but for my daughter. Take this candle to the missing persons notice board. After dark, light it and let that be an end. Don't you want to be there when I light it, or let me ask you something else before I go? Don't you want to be there when I light it? I will find my own kind of ceremony. Some things must be done properly. That is all. I've always been the kind of individual that, that kind of stuff should be done in private. That's fair, man. Let me ask you something else before I go. Oleg's expression turned sour. What now? Can a man not be left to grieve in peace? There are versions of your daughter that survived. Don't you want to meet them? Corrupted or not, Afra recognized the rocket. She remembered you. Don't you see you're a part of this? Your job upholds the regime that got her killed. Do you want to meet the versions that survived? I am happy for them, but they are not my daughters. You say they were altered by magic? And they are new people. If they are anyone's children, they are the king's. Let its majesty look for them, if it wants. Okay, so I guess I was wrong this entire time. I thought Afro was actually male and transitioned to female. Apparently just one of the variants was female and wanted to transition to male. That's on me. That's on me. To be fair, those logs were very redacted in various ways. So it's still on me. It's still on me. Now please, no more questions. What else is there to say? Corrupted or not, Afra recognized the locket. She remembered you. Are you going to say that some part of her is still there? That maybe there is a way to save her. These are foolish tales people tell themselves because they are scared of the truth. Just as a corpse may grasp and twitch hours after death, so the corrupted vomit up chunks of the person they replaced. What you spoke to was only an echo, like a ghost. Besides, what would I do? Break her out of her cage? Smuggle her past quarantine? Hide her in my cupboard? Then we would both be destroyed. My daughter is gone. Whatever thing has her body now, let them burn it. Don't you see you're a part of this? Your job upholds the regime that got her killed. He eyes you venomously. Honestly, that's such a dickish thing for me to say. I want to go through all the dialogue options. I don't feel that. I really don't. Obviously, he doesn't feel good about it. Honestly, this is me just, like, eating a dude when he's down. This is really cruel. But dialogue options. What exactly are you saying? That this was my fault? What kind of question is that for a grieving father? You can't just carry on like nothing is wrong. You have power in this kingdom. You could do something. You're right. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. I mean... Honestly, like, it's so cruel of me to even say this kind of thing. It's not my place, too. Dialogue options, am I right? Can't just carry on like nothing is wrong. He slams the table. Enough! What the hell do you know about my life? About my country? You think I could just knock on the king's door and ask nicely? You think they can't find someone else who wants my job? My house? I protect this kingdom. It is outsiders like you sneaking in and out, smuggling mercenaries, saboteurs, and spies that forced the king to take such a heavy hand. If everyone followed the law, none of this would have happened. Please, no more questions. What else do you have to say? I'll do the other dialogue choice. I still feel horrible. Just... You have power in this kingdom. You could do something. He slams the table. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah. Same choices. And lastly... You're right. I'm sorry. I forget I said anything. No, please, no more questions. What else is there to say? That's all I want to know. Good. Well, you had the candle. Goes back to his word puzzle. Farewell, Oleg. Oleg says nothing. You leave him sitting in his cold little apartment, absorbed in his puzzle. Gosh dang. I mean, I understand the player's desire for absolution in this, because it's an effed up scenario. A lot of the quests kind of touch on that. It's kind of like the effed up scenario with the dream trade, basically. I can't frickin' topple the entirety of all that. I really can't. The surface of the notice board is entirely lost beneath layer upon layer of paper, while half-melted candles shelter at its foot. Sign at the top reads missing persons. Oh. Look at Oleg's notice again. This notice appears relatively new, written in a spidery hand. Dear child, I don't know why I'm writing this. I don't know who you are. I don't even remember your name. I just know there is a hole in my life and nothing fills it. The wrong no. Actually, yeah, they're all the wrong no. I don't know as in yes or no why I'm writing this. I don't know as in the rest yes or no. Okay, yeah, that's all the wrong versions of no. That's... Was it that way the first time we looked at this? Why did I not pick up on that? Anyways. If you are real, please come home. I want to feel right again. Oleg Agorovic. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with that writing. Yeah, okay. Light a candle for Oleg's daughter. You place Oleg's candle among the others and light the wick. A soft green glow suffuses the leaves of paper, each one marking a life and a name. You think about Oleg's daughter, and all her sisters, and all the people for whom there will never be any candles. One of them was a brother. One of them was a brother. All the sisters and brother. And you think about the faces you saw on your way here. What have they lost that they won't let themselves mourn? Whose absence do they feel without even knowing it? How many pretending not to see the abyss for fear of being dragged into? How many think it could never happen to them? Leopards would never eat my face. Behind you, someone begins to sing, croaking and hesitant at first, no words. Just a mournful keening tune. Something like an elegy, something like a howl. A prayer and a promise, a hymn for the missing. Yep. Okay. Let's check the items we got from that. See here. Period key. The Rustberg one. Portal key. Put up a bow. Got the guild insignia. We did check this. A jagged brooch of dull alloy, worn by the Clockwork Kingdom's all-powerful machinist guild. I didn't say anything at the time, but I bet you anything we could have gotten to see Dr. Prip for the dream quest with this, actually. This one marks its bearer as a member of the Order of Interpreters. Chief Interpreter Afra implored you not to misuse its authority. Clockwork Smuggler's Key, a mechanical punch card given to you by Oleg, the border guard, supposedly unlocks a freight capsule on one of the Clockwork Kingdom's outlying atolls. However, the islet is likely inaccessible without an airship of your own. Likely inaccessible. That's a weird way of phrasing that. But I think it's about time we made our way to the graveyard. Made our way ever deeper. Alrighty. Yeah, well, we already know the way there. Honestly, I thought the graveyard was going to be part of Caxton Frost's thing, but maybe it's actually going to be the city that's overrun, basically, via corruption. That may be his thing. And it's just par for the course when it comes to the overarching meta quest. Hey, here's a locked area. Hey, go to that locked area, by the way. That's how it's been in all 3 zones, basically. And that's why I assumed it was this. Alrighty. This is... well, it's a graveyard, just not of the sort I thought it was going to be. That's for sure. Looks more like a frickin' junkyard. Graveyard for old tech. Old houses? What are these, technically? Old... pylons? Yeah, we'll figure it out. We usually do. I've seen some frickin' setups of Squalor, man, but this is really like... You good? You effing good, man? Welcome to the graveyard, pal. What brings you all the way out here? This doesn't look like any graveyard I've seen. Show machinist insignia. I'm here on official business. This doesn't look like any graveyard I've seen. Funny sort of gravestones, aren't they? This is where they keep the things the Clockwork King makes what no one can find a use for. Teapots, chess sets, bathtubs, grand pianos. It all ends up here. Some things, nobody even knows what they are. Why its majesty makes them, I couldn't tell you. There's plenty of stuff people would give their left arms for that ain't getting built. But it's not for me to question the logic of our king. Or is there aught else? Show machinist insignia. I'm here on official business. Blimey! I mean, someone's actually been reading my reports? Better late than never, I suppose. It's these yellow boxes, see? We've had them for years. But even the King's Speaker herself couldn't make head nor tail of them. Told me to look after them till they're needed. That'll be the day. Well, a fair few ticks ago, some of the boxes started talking. Now they won't shut up. I just skipped past that. That's... okay, that's on me. I'll put back on screen the bottom part of that text. Gosh, sorry guys. I got into emotion. It's also been a day so far already. I was mentioning earlier that friggin' I was fighting with the computer and stuff just to get the recording going. It's on me. I'm sorry. It should be off screen now, and let's just continue. Maybe you could take a look. Most of the boxes here don't talk. You'll have to listen closely if you want to find the right ones. Is there aught else? I'll be going now, and I can't get back in the dialogue. Yeah, okay. Gotta listen closely to the yellow boxes. Gosh, are there a lot of them. Yeah, you can kind of hear something. Sounds like something over here. Oh gosh. It's a messed up glitch. Oh yeah, that's a texture glitch right there. Not the first time I've come across this. Arguably fitting for what's happening in game. Whatever. Basically just a telephone. Okay. Yeah, it's a payphone. Inside the yellow box is a mechanical console with something like an ear trumpet hanging on a curly wire. Shitty noises issue from its mouth. Pick up the trumpet and listen. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. Your brain is flooded by a cacophony of jagged noise. Then you realize it's some kind of otherworldly music. The music throbs at an alien time signature, defying your attempts to track its rhythm. Ghostly and human voices lap over each other like waves. Feels like a memory from before the universe was made. This doesn't seem like the king's message. We'll have to try one of the other boxes. Is that still... Yeah, the texture for this one's just glitching out. I've seen this glitch basically happen in a lot of games. It just will occasionally happen where the texture is super stretched out across a large area. I don't think I've ever looked into what technically causes it. And I'm honestly curious. Maybe I'll do that in my off time and actually look into it. Okay, so we just got to keep listening. Yeah, sounds like there's a bit of clockwork. They're ticking. Sworn I heard ticking. Maybe not. Whatever. We are just kind of listening for these kind of things right now. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. You can hear two people in soft conversation, their voices echoing as if from the other end of a long stone passage. There now, it'll be all right. How is it going to be all right? Lydia's just gone, and nobody remembers. Like my brain is melting and running out of my ears. No, I know. All I mean is, we've got each other. It ain't going nowhere. A pause. I was washing up today. Did you ever notice how many dishes we have? Enough for 5 people, not 2. That's a... He doubled down in quotation marks in that first one. Well, hopes to have extra, don't it? You know we can't afford more of anything than we need. We had an extra bed, too, before we sold it. And that cot. And what's more, doubling down on quotations. Maybe it's intentional. This doesn't seem like the king's message. Keep listening. I suppose it was nice to have guests around for all this. I mean, do you remember ever having guests? Pause. How many people used to live in this house, Queasy? Long pause. I don't know. No, me neither. There's a long silence and then a series of odd little wet sounds. Oi, oi, what are you doing? Sorry, should I stop? A lot of weird extra quotation marks in this dialogue box. I didn't say stop. You hear grateful sighs, a giggle, and then a loving moan. You quickly put the trumpet down before you hear any more. Okay then. But I got racy out of nowhere. Was very existential and then racy. This is fascinating because I don't think there's bikes anywhere else in the game. Here we just got a large amount of bikes. And yeah, there would be a large amount of bikes here and nowhere else in the game. That makes sense. Alright. Let's see, there's one right there. Oh. It's Marsh. Yeah, not exactly seeing any other ones. This one right here? Okay, so there's 2 right there. Smash! Ooh, mana potion. Good, good. Yeah, there might be more. Like, I want to listen to them all, and I'm worried that once I pick the right one, I just kind of, like, get locked out of all the other ones. I don't want to listen into things like I just listened in on, but I'm curious about the other things. You pick up the trumpet, put it to your ear. An old man's voice echoes from the other end. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? I don't know where I am. Please. It's cold. Yes, I can hear you. Who is that speaking? Stay calm, I'll try to help you. Yes, I can hear you. The old man doesn't seem to be able to hear you. I can't see anything. I can't feel my body. Is anyone there? Hello? Please. If anyone's there, say something. This doesn't seem like the king's message. Oy vey. Oy vey. That one is a bit more of a gut punch than I was expecting. I'm a sucker for old men. They're losing it one way or another. Okay, so there's one right here, and there's one over there. Guess let's try this one. At first you just hear hissing and then a tune that Afra hummed. A genderless voice announces with mechanical regularity. 6, 1, 6, 3, 2, break, 5, 2, 6, Alder, Bantam, 2, break, 4, 6. The voice drones on and then repeats. This must be the king's message. You scribble down everything you can, then replace the trumpet. Okay, we can check out the other one. I can still hear it. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. The whirlwind of noise, chattering voices, snatches of song, weird mechanical screeches. At one point you hear your own name. You hurriedly replace the trumpet. I think that's the first time anyone's called us our name. I think legit that's the first time anyone's called us our name, because we don't have a name as far as the game's cared so far. Okay, we got King's Message. Graveyard Noise Transcript. A hastily scribbled transcript of numbers and words that echoed out of a strange yellow box in the Clockwork Kingdom's object graveyard. Chief Interpreter Afro will want to see this. Okay. Yep. But yeah, throughout the entirety of the game, we've just been called various forms due to our basically our crimes and stuff. We haven't been called our name, I think, ever. The fact that we get called our name during a weird frickin' phone call to a different space-time / place that shouldn't be. Yeah, I can understand our character legit getting upset and confused and scared. Nobody we've interacted with on the Onric Isles probably knows our name. But whatever that was, did. Oh, well. Anyways, as I was saying, like, yeah, it's... Why is there a silk slug all the way in here? Wait, what? Oh, Hanky Panky went down, didn't it? Another silk slug. Oh. Oh, citizen, do not interfere with these silk slugs in any way, or you'll answer to the Machidus Guild. Why shouldn't I interfere with them? I wasn't even thinking about it. Why shouldn't I? They're under royal protection, so go about your business. A silk slug begins to probe inquisitively at their weapon. Oi! Leave that alone, please! Uh-huh. Yeah, Hanky Panky went down, huh? Can't even point it out or talk about it. I do kind of love it. I do kind of love it. Alrighty. And just everywhere. Okay. Yeah. Same stuff. I don't think any other NPC is going to acknowledge the silk slug, sadly. Oh, well. Time to waste a bit of time. By ceasing to be and then re-being. And but Afra's mechanical arm gives you a fluid salutation. How goes our task, friend? Why is the city full of silk slugs? Yeah, I gotta know. She looks around. Oh, dear. Again? Afraid I had my nose in my notes on the way here. King's affection for silk slugs is a long-standing mystery, but not our most pressing. What else can I empower you? So that's just something he does regularly. Okay, yeah, sure. You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That's... Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I found the king's message in the graveyard. Really? She reads the transcript excitedly. Let's see, could it... No? Wait. Oh. She beams at you. Stars aflame, so I wasn't imagining it. This confirms my analysis. The king is speaking to us, and we must show that we've heard. How did you know about the weird tune? How do we do that? How do you know about the weird tune? He looks embarrassed. Well, it was just a guess. King outputs so much information every day, and I just look for patterns. But I mustn't bore you. Charm, truly, I'm interested. I get the sense there was some spark of inspiration. You only needed 20. She is really easy to charm when it comes to her singing, huh? She seems surprised. Well, tell the truth, I had a dream about it. I saw myself walking in a graveyard, following that tune, and then finding... Now listen, I don't want you to think I'm some sort of crazed mystic. I spent so long buried in royal output logs, I sometimes fall asleep on the parchment. I think the dream was only my mind's way of pointing out a pattern I'd missed. Listen, Afra, you're technically made by the king / exists due to the king. It wouldn't be a surprise if the king could technically do something like that. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. The king speaks a dialect of cipher language known as sixfold cipher. It's tremendously difficult for human brains to parse, except those that actually put in the time and effort. So for your audience, you'll need a cranial moderator installed into your skull. Sorry, installed in my what? Absolutely not. Skip conversation. Actually, funny story. I already have a moderator. No, we're definitely doing this one. I'm sorry that it literally says I'm skipping the conversation, but actually, funny story. I already have one. Afra blinks, squints at you, then tilts her head back as if she is seeing you in a new light. Really? You got that from Morozov? She found it hilarious. I made it worth her while. All it took was a little persuasion. Her security systems weren't as strong as she thought. I made it work. Her security systems were really not as strong as she thought. Your initiative is commendable. Well then, I've been studying the message you've retrieved from the graveyard. I think Its Majesty wants us to pass it on elsewhere. Not by the usual channels. In the corrupted lands, there is a royal broadcast beacon, formerly used to send signals down to the Underlands. It was abandoned when corruption overtook the area. It has since fallen into disrepair, however, the king has not forgotten it. Why would you formally send signals to the Underlands? Unfortunately, the beacon is no longer answering remote commands, which means you, and I am truly sorry for this, must deliver the message in person. She hands you a weighty folder of forest green leather. This is what we machinists call a punch card. The way of recording information so the king can understand. In this case, music. Use the punch card to open the tower door and then insert it into the apparatus at the top of the beacon. Yeah, you know what? That's proper programming, actually. This is how early computers were programmed, with punch cards. It's fascinating they went this route, because I don't think I've seen any other setting properly go the punch card route. This sounds incredibly dangerous. Why would you want to send signals to the Underlands? How do I get to the corrupted lands? I need to know. Why did you want to send signals to the Underlands? We asked the king the same question. Its Majesty was adamant that someone or something might be alive down there, and that contacting them was somehow critical to the kingdom's future. Alas, no response ever came. Anything else? Not yet, but something will. Like a party of people having to go down to the Underlands, right? It sounds incredibly dangerous. Very much so. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate such a journey. I truly wish I could go myself, but if Sunil notices I'm absent for too long, our whole plan will be sunk. My advice? Try not to enter any structure not fixed to the ground. Cleanup workers are your friend. If you taste lilac, turn back immediately. If you see an eyeball, do not meet its gaze. Oh gosh, I've been doing that a lot with mounds of flesh. If you need respite, I believe there's a royal cleanup camp in that area. Though I've never been there myself. Anything else? No, you've been there. Just different you. How do I get to the corrupted lands? The corrupted lands are southeast of here. Across a great chasm, carved out by the king's machines. Officially, there's no way in, but I found records of an old abandoned digging engine in the area that might offer you a path. I had the king conjure the access code directly into your cranial monitor. Just picture me in your mind's eye. With as much detail as you can, and it'll come to you. Not very good at picturing things in my head. That's a weird... I'll go on that tangent after this. But yeah, that's what we'll choose. He smiles mischievously. Why not try it anyway? With all that new plumbing in your skull, you might be surprised. Anything else? Fine, that's all. But if I become a monster, I'll eat you first. Entirely fair. How else can I empower you? It's such an awesome statement. Okay, just wish me luck. All the luck in the world. So something that a lot of people don't comprehend, because comprehending how other people think is always kind of like a stretch. You really need to be good at thought experiments and empathy, amongst other things. But some people aren't good at visual imagination or representation of how things may be. There's a picture online about a scale of this. Like, picture an apple in your head. Some people can picture an apple like fully made in proper color. Some people can only do it like monotone. Some people can only do the outline of an apple. Some people can't even do an image of an apple, and they just think the word apple, so on and so forth. Don't mind me, I just like hugging walls. This game won't let me hug trees, so I gotta hug walls instead. Anyways, with all that in mind, the fact that I was able to choose, I'm not very good at picturing things, is astounding, because I didn't think anyone would write that in. But what's more, it's... some people have gone on record, and people on the internet are losing their mind because they never realized such individuals could exist, because it's outside their scope of comprehension, because that's how everyone thinks. They think low-key the way they think is the norm. Some people don't have proper internal dialogues. Some people just are a little bit more matter-of-fact, one-to-one in how they think about things, so on and so forth. And as I just stated, obviously some people can't picture things, at least not in the way others can. None of this is inherently bad. None of this is inherently worse when it comes to thinking compared to others. It's just different people's brains work in different ways. And I find it really nice that the devs weirdly went out on a limb to let you world build your character that way. Like, really weirdly nice. Anyways, let's... Invigorating Locket. A locket that increases its wearer's stamina threshold, which makes long-term fatigue less severe. When opened, this locket shows a peculiar forest that appears to move as if alive. There is no glass. Invigorating vapors spill through. You can see a dragonfly flying out of it. Yeah, of course there's no glass. It's legit a port. Like, that is... Can I stick my finger in? Like, does that just go somewhere? Cool. I think we got that from solving the missing child thing. So, did I ever find a way onto this? Is there any reason I should want on this? I'm gonna look at this from the other side up there, because I'm pretty certain if we basically put on some agility gear as well as pop that spell, we'd probably be able to make that jump, to be honest. Yeah, I'm pretty certain we can make that jump. I don't think I ever thought to before. I probably thought about it when we first, like, came upon the ravine, and then after we crossed it, it was, like, towards the ends of the episode that time, so it's, like, completely forgot. Okay, actually, hold up. What rings do I have? Potency, spellcraft. It's damage from falling. What about blocking, health, mana, immune to poison, water, health, mana, and stamina, defense, divination, spellcraft. Let's do Featherfoot just so I don't take damage from this. Weightless. Negate fatigue during combat. Mechanical. Blah, blah. Summoner's Cosmos Cloak is for sneaking. Luck bug. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's pop on the agility gear. Yeah. And let's just get agility's addendum. Okay, let's try it. Can't wait for me to not jump when I want to jump. Oh, there we go. Yep. We in there. Okay, I don't think there's anything around. But it's worth looking. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. Okay, cool. Once more, there is a frickin' reason I randomly get out of bounds regularly in games. A lot of the time, it's my fault. I want to say around half of the time, though, it is not. Like when I got out of bounds earlier in this series, when I was like in the mushroom, frickin' gosh, what was it like? I remember exactly what we called those giant mushrooms at the time. Mushroom tower. Let's just call it a mushroom tower. Anyway. So we got to make our way all the way over yonder to the radio tower. That's probably what we're looking at up there. Okay. Anyway. I was saying, like, I basically had horrible luck just trying to get this recording, last recording going. Basically all the recordings for today going. Like horrible luck. Like, oh my effing god, what the F? Why do I have such horrible luck? Kind of thing. And it's paired with the fact, like, when I was trying to get, like, the recordings for Immortal Life going, for, like, the large batch of those, I also had horrible luck and all my recording software was effing up. And it's... It's disheartening and a horrible start to the day. Because not for nothing, but I'm recording this on Valentine's Day. I got, like, dinner to make later for my fiance, you know, just usual romance stuff. All that. And, having tech issues at the start of a day like this is not the good. Really not the good. This looks like the thing that's in town that's hanging like from a ceiling or whatever, and the guards like, definitely don't look at it, don't care about it. That's what this looks like. Huh. Anyways, punch card time, right? Control panel is a dizzying array of levers, dials, and buttons. Many smashed or corroded. Among them is a slot-like entry port, waiting for input. A howling wind whips snow and ash across your face. Leave it alone, actually. Hold up. I forgot to check. We have it in our inventory. Metal machine music. A mechanical punch card used by servants of the Clockwork King, coding a suit of otherworldly music. Chief Interpreter Afra wants you to insert this into the apparatus at the top of the old royal beacon in the corrupted lands. Is there a reason it's got like the ones on the edges of that image? Is there a reason for that? Or is that like a glitch? Just a graphical glitch? Because you don't see that with any other key item or item in general, just those lines on the right side of this. Even if we're considering like it's one of however many, you see how numerals are worked with the other items. Anyways, let's pop it in. Insert the punch card with the king's message. Card jams in the slot, but you give it a good shove. For a moment, nothing happens. Oh, you don't want to force punch cards, man. The whole tower begins to vibrate. Needles jump back and forth along their dials. The transistor bursts in a shower of glass. Oh gosh. One by one, indicator lights go green as the beacon reconnects with its long-lost king. Above you, the giant antenna crackles into life and emits a pulse of silent sound, felt in your belly rather than heard. The pulse continues at regular intervals, singing a song that only your bones can hear, broadcasting a monarch's lonely cry down into the underlands. Suddenly, the control panel crackles and squeals before emitting a familiar voice. That danged thing even work? Hey, arsehole, are you hearing this? Mikhail, is that you? Are you talking to me? This is guild business, Mikhail. Don't interfere. Gosh dang, Mikhail, is that you? Or, sorry, are you talking to me? It's been months. I can't remember who the heck Mikhail is. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna beat myself up over this. 10 seconds. I'm looking up who Mikhail is so I have proper context. That's part of the issue of playing this game so intermittently, along with the other games, is like, I could take like a month to 2 months off from playing these games sometimes. So it's just like, I can't remember some stuff like from the start of the series. Honestly, I'd like to play through the entirety of this game, just like several sit-down sessions, but as a series, it's like, I think I started this last year. Anyways, pausing real quick. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That, yeah, 100%. That's Mikhail's the dude that smuggled us into the kingdom. Yep. It's that dude. 100% Mikhail. Mikhail? Is that you? Misha? No. This is ancient mummified queen of Underlands here to tell you that you have a stupid nose. Pinhead, nincompoop, effing scorch. Listen, we do not have long with this device, so pay attention. Misha has some friends who have been watching you through the king's eyes. They know all about Chief Interpreter Afra and her big plan. Enough to cannot be trusted. Go down in Ferropolis and find a market trader called Reza. Ask them the 7th letter. Do this before you Afra's punch card. Understand? What was that about the 7th letter? It appears Mikhail can no longer hear you. You and I believe we have seen each other's souls. We have and discuss philosophy. Nothing matters. This. Misha is asking you as a friend. There's nothing more save for the roar static. That's interesting. Hecka interesting, actually. How did Misha, Mikhail, so on and so forth, actually talk through that? That's... I am so low-key invested in all this. I'm so confused. I'm like, wait, what? I am actually confused about something. I'm confused about a lot of things, but that's part of just learning a story and so on and so forth. But the thing I'm confused about is, I'm gonna go check it. I'm actually gonna go check it. You know what? Let's go back to the Library of Untruths and see if we can go down some avenues, learn some things, because you can always have fun if you have a library card or something Arthur meme nonsense. Oh wait, is it every day's fun when you have a library card? I can't remember. It's really annoying that I don't remember that because my fiance does work in a library. It's like, I feel like I should know that. But I never watched Arthur as a kid. Wait, vey. Is my childhood horrible because I never watched Arthur? I don't even know what an aardvark is. I don't. I need to look that up. What is an aardvark? Anytime I think of aardvark, for some reason an anteater just enters my brain, and it's like, I don't think that's correct. Maybe from the same, like, genus or family, but I don't think that's correct. Oh, well, let's head to the, Library of Untruths. Actually, just check on some things. See, it's something I wanted to do off screen, but I forgot in between episodes. Hopefully I'll still be allowed in there to do that. Is it actually over here? Yeah, it's over here. Okay. Hippity hoppity. Hoppity hippity. Pick up the Paradoxicus. Yippity yoppity. And pick this one up. Heck yeah, man. Alrighty. Hey, did I ever tell you about your daughter? And one son? The librarian quickly hides a handkerchief underneath some papers as you approach. Her eyes are red and wet. Oh, hello, dearie. Do pardon me. All the parchment here plays havoc on my allergies. Guinevere, I found the truth about your child's fate. The librarian puts her hand over her mouth. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I can handle it yet, but thank you for telling me and for giving us some answers. You tell Oleg what you found, and when I'm ready, I'll ask him. I've been meaning to check in on him anyway. She gives you a sharp look. Not that I'm even thinking about rescinding my petition, mind you. The librarian smiles weakly. Was that all, dearie? That's all for now. Take care of yourself. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. I wanted to skim through some of the, stuff over yonder in the actual library bit. You know, the Library of Untruths, where all things are untrue, or never were, so on and so forth. Show me the project horoscope file again. Annals of Royal Project Horoscope, case file, subject 5. Yep. Common name, Alaska not controverse. Birthday, Anti-Rex 4. Month 5, day 59, unknown. Birthplace, Yansk Oblast. Rent 0, original Alaska, not controverse. Dead by suicide, dead in prison, executed for sedition. Immigrated without permit, assigned to royal service. Show me Sunil's final conclusions again. After some digging, you find a record that was left out of Speaker Sunil's veil of secrecy. It raises as many questions as it answers. The subject and his branches were by far the most variable alumni of Project Horoscope Branch 0. The original achieved the lowest combined aptitude and patriotism score, CAPS, in the entire cohort. Due to deficits in faith and compliance, which outweighed his merit in scholastics invention, most alterations proved wild instabilities, leading to adverse outcomes for those branches. However, Branch 5 subsequently achieved the highest caps of all horoscope alumni, earning admission to the Guild of Machinists. Since then, she has made transformative contributions that recommend her for higher office. Lessons for future alterations doctrine are set forth in our full report. Okay. Take me back to subject 5s. Yeah. Dead by suicide, dead in prison, executed for sedition, emigrated without permit. Is Branch 4 still alive? Is Branch 4 still alive? That's... Because we know Branch 5, the Afro we know, is alive. That's who we've been working with. Branch 0, I think, was... That may have been the one that we were talking to that became corrupted. Branch 1 through 3 are all said to be dead. Branch 4 emigrated. They left the country. Is Branch 4 alive? Show me. Subject 5, year 3, registered in Royal Annals, age 6, assigned to basic schooling in Yansko Blast, reassigned with family to Ferropolis, petition Machinist Rex for technical schooling, denied. Read through the entire history. Assigned to factory service in Ferropolis, reprimanded for carelessness. Petition for medical permit, tonic of Genderseed, granted. Permit revoked due to supply considerations. Reprimanded for malingering, dismissed for carelessness and insolence, assigned to Royal Project, horoscope. Keep reading. Assigned to menial service in Ferropolis as per project parameters. Arrested for sumptuary violations, 2 days in stocks. Petition for change of common name, granted as per project parameters. Petition for corporeal transfiguration, change of sex, denied as per project parameters. Appealed previous petition, denied as per project parameters. Assigned to agricultural service in Instrik Oblast as per project parameters. Petition for reassignment to Ferropolis, denied. Last faulted status check. Alas. That's all there is, okay. Okay, no further queries. That's... okay. Yeah, So, if I'm reading that right, the original Afra may have been the one at the farm that ended up corrupted, basically. And they were the one petitioning for a change in gender, basically. Oh, it's getting to that point in the episode. My voice is starting to give out. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay, I was just making sure I was reading that right. How much time? We might be able to do this. Yeah, actually, hold up. Hop on back. Let's get this info down. And I think it said it was in the, down below. Nisha said we should head this way. So, marketplace. Did I already go through here? Probably, definitely. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. NPC we probably haven't talked to before. Don't know what's in there. Actually, how do I get through there? That's a question. Would have thought it'd be through here, but... Is there a hidden wall somewhere that I can interact with to open something? Maybe? Definitely a question. We're told to find Riza. And, yeah, I don't think any of yous be a Riza. Not for nothings. Not you, is it? No, no. Got any more mana potions? No, no. Oh, wait, you do. Cool. Why do you just not have any stock of shielding potions? That's... whatever. Not you. Nah, just nameless traitor. I keep mashing A and going... Okay, yeah. Well, King's Blessing. Okay, it's not you. I don't think it's that dude. So, a few questions. We have... this... Wait... What? Wait, what? Did I ask around for Riza while mashing A? Is that what happened? I think I was mashing A. I was like, I need to get out of this dialogue choice, so I didn't even check it because I knew I talked to him. And now this is open. I swear to Christ that was me asking for Riza. That's par for the course today. Okay, let's... This is open now. Yeah, this is open now. Okay, hey, what's up? You see a middle-aged person with light brown skin and an eye patch, dressed in an eclectic patchwork of colorful fabrics. Can't quite figure out their gender, which seems deliberate. Branch 4? Why, hello there, child. Come to browse. What are you selling? Who are you? No, thank you. I'm just passed by. What are you selling? Why, charms and trinkets to attract the favor of the Clockwork King, or ward off its majesty's displeasure. Look here. This cogwheel was plucked from the king's own belly, inscribed with sacred six-fold cipher. Worn around your neck, it will grant you fortune at summoning stations. For this incense, burn it while you write a petition to the king, and it shall speed up your request. Well, child, do you see anything else that interests you? Who are you? Name is Reza, child. Fortune teller, trinket vendor, and listener of many grapevines. For a price, I can sell you talismans of luck and protection, or perhaps even give you a little advice about your problems. What problems do you mean? Or you keep calling me child, but I'm at least as old as you. No talismans for me, thanks. I'm at least as old as you. Riza, the saboteur. Riza gives you a crooked grin. We are all children in the cosmos, no? That's true. What kind of problems do you mean? Everyone's problems are different, child. To truly help a person, there must be trust, Charm. I'm new here, and this place terrifies and confuses me. I'd be glad for your guidance. Fair enough, I suppose, or would you like this conversation to become official business? Charm. I'm new here. They examine you, and their expression softens. I'm sorry, child. I can only imagine. This is not a good place for travelers, is it? Everyone must deal with the king now and then. In my long life, I'm lucky to have learned a little of its majesty's ways. So I help people with their problems as best I can. Nothing illegal, just advice. I can coach you to file an appeal that the guild will treat as high priority. Diagnose misfiring magic in your building's heating engine. Interpret a royal proclamation you can't make sense of. Perhaps even point you towards a friendly machinist. I never cheat. No. I only help people find their path where everyone ends up happy. So you see, child, I too, in my own way, am a servant of the king. Actually, I had a confusing encounter with the king just recently. Hey, listen to your tale. Oh, my child, quite an ordeal, Show me your hand. Riza traces their bony fingers gently along the lines of your palm, humming a hypnotic tune and swinging a cipher-inscribed vacuum tube back and forth on a sprocket chain. The king has sensed that a terrible destiny stalks behind you, matching your step. You chase a strange star. Your quarry seeks to exhume the grave of history and rewrite the music of time. Perhaps its majesty believes you have a role to play here in the kingdom too. They release your hand, smiling kindly. Or perhaps it is a mistake. The king does not make them, you know. Well, child, do you see anything else that interests you? I'm looking for the 7th letter. The gaudy trader squints at you and glances left and right to check nobody is listening. They beckon you closer. Who told you to come here? Were you followed? Misha sends his greetings. No, I wasn't followed. Misha sends his greetings. Good. They appraise you with their remaining eye. So you're the one who's helping Afra. I see she's got your head stuffed with clockwork, like a good little machinist. Tell me, did she explain what a cranial moderator does? She said it would let me speak 6-fold cipher. Morozov mentioned a few side effects, migraine, seizures. Honestly, she sort of glossed over it. Morozov mentioned a few side effects, migraines, seizures. Ha, I'm sure. So then nobody warned you how a cranial moderator warps your thinking? Ooze out any irrational notions. Makes you look at the world like a machinist, seeing everything as a puzzle you can solve. The biggest changes will take a few years, but mark my words, they will come. That is why I got rid of mine. I've had enough of plots and conspiracies. You used to be a machinist too? Yes, for many years. I even wrote some of the cipher magic that lets the king alter people. So I speak with authority when I say that countless lives depend on you defying Afra's plan. Alright, I'm listening. Don't misunderstand me. Afra is a sweet girl. We were very close once. She absolutely believes she is doing the right thing. Sadly, for all of us, she is wrong. Look around you, child. See how we are all at the mercy of this infernal machine, which not even the machinist can control. Can you honestly say that what we need is more Clockwork King? However brilliant Afra's spell may be, it cannot fix the problems with the king, because the king is the problem. What's your alternative? Riza flashes you a crooked grin and hands you something heavy, wrapped in colorful rags. I'm glad you asked. This is a different kind of spell. Inserted in place of Afra's, it will trigger a runaway fault cascade that gradually but irrevocably shuts down the king with minimum destruction. Wait, you're the saboteur, aren't you? I mean, it's been in their name this entire time. So you're this mystery vote I keep hearing about. Wait, you're the saboteur, aren't you? You smile cryptically. There's no such person as a saboteur, child. Only a group of like-minded people who love this land. See no good in leaving its fate to an overgrown grandfather clock. So do we understand each other? Or is there more you would know? About your spell. What about it, child? What's so dangerous about Afra's spell? Everyone here depends on the king. If you kill it, many people will die. What's so dangerous about Afra's spell? Afra's had these plans for a long time. We used to stay up so late bouncing wild ideas back and forth. She believes she has been lucky and wants the same for others. I admire that about her, truly. But to ask her this, under her plan, will people really be free to choose whatever changes they want? Or will there be a limit? Will the king be neutral on what changes we make? Or will it have a bias? Afra is a child of the guild. She believes in her soul that if she keeps tinkering, she can design a perfect system. If only she understood how much they have stolen from her. You still have questions, child? Everyone here depends on the king. If you kill it, many people will die. They grimace. I won't pretend otherwise. There will be chaos, much suffering, and certainly death. I only ask you to consider how many more could die if you keep the king in place. You will never know how many people the king has altered to make them better workers. My former colleagues saw people baser instincts as an impediment to progress, so they chose to scrap the people and build another. Child, in my trade, you learn a lot about people. Most folk want to help each other. It is this vile contraption breathing down their necks that stops them, making us fear each other, envy each other, denounce each other for one more day's bread. Without the king, our fate will rest again upon each other's shoulders. There's no work of cipher that I trust more than that. It's all we really have, and all we need. You still have questions, child? Let me ask you about something else. As you wish. The least I can do is answer. About you and your cause. I'll tell you whatever I can without endangering my comrades. The machinists say you're the reason the king's problems. I don't think that's a correct sentence. The machinists say you are the reason for... Okay, I missed for the king's problems. I thought it said for king's problems. Okay. The machinists say you're the reason for the king's problems. Riza snorts. Hogwash. Child, I know what the king is made of. I could recite every syllable of its cipher nucleus by heart, although to do so would be most unwise. Do we sabotage the king when we believe it will do good? Certainly. Do we divert royal goods to distribute fairly in our communities? Yes, sometimes. Are we the root of the king's madness? Don't make me laugh. We could toil for decades and cause fewer faults than the king itself generates before breakfast. Only a truly stupid machinist could believe that we are anything more than an excuse for their failures. You still have questions, child? You were a machinist too. What makes you better than Afra? Riza grins crookedly. Yeah, you are asking the right questions. Yes, I accept my share of blame for the mess the kingdom is in. Luckily, I do not work alone. Although the spell was drafted by my hands, it is the work of many minds. Most of my comrades, whom you will never meet, are ordinary layfolk. I pledge my magic to serve them, not the other way around. You know why I was chosen to give you this punch card? Because I'm the most expendable. The machinists already know very well who I am. You still have questions, child? Why did you leave the Machinist Guild? They sigh deeply. Child, did you ever hear the old fairy tale about the boy who got a splinter of a mirror in his eye that made him cold and cruel, seeing only the worst of things? Actually, yes. I've at least heard a portion of the story, yes. The king wields unimaginable power, far too much for any one being. In my youth, I thought that this made the guild more important, that we had a duty to use such power wisely. But when you make so many life or death decisions every day, when you see people's darkest secrets piled up in stacks every morning in the royal archives like so many freshly cut logs, you grow numb to it. You forget what the stakes are. I did not like what I saw reflected in my colleagues' eyes, or in my own. Still have questions, child? Let me ask you something else. As you wish. The least I can do is answer. What's in it for me if I follow your plan? Riza snorts. A reward? Child, by the time you enter the audience chamber, I will be gone, either dead or in hiding. Perhaps the guild has told you about all the sacks of gold we get from the apostatic union. I've never seen a penny of it, and neither have my comrades. Any resources that we do possess will be needed in the days ahead. You must do this because it is right, or not at all. So do we understand each other, or is there more you would know? Very well, I'll consider what you said. That's all I ask, child. Don't trust Afra, and don't trust me either. Just do what you think is right. Props to you for that one last line. Just 100%. Even if you don't trust me, follow through on what you think is the correct path at the end of the day. That is a good line, like, They know it's technically in your hands and like do what you think's right. What are we looking at quest-wise at this point? Effort's plan to fix the Clockwork King is nearing fruition, but a shadowy rebel group has reached out to you with a different offer. You met with Reza, an undercover saboteur, who gave you a punch card that would kill the king. Return to Afra for your final task. She waits for you at the park gazebo at night. And we have Saboteur's punch card. The metal is dull and faintly corroded, wrapped in a protective layer of colorful rags. This mechanical punch card encodes a spell of self-destruction, which Riza, the Saboteur, wants you to insert in the Clockwork King. I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, I think legit what she's saying has merit. Like, I'm not against gods or anything, but they have biases. I'm not against the Clockwork King, but the Clockwork King runs on logic and one-to-one of what the heck is asked and done. Like, it's mechanical in nature, so it's one-to-one in how it handles problems. It's not going to look at things with a bias or even with any sort of human nature whatsoever, and when you force your problems to be solved, your human problems to be solved by that sort of thing, cracks are going to form. Issues are going to rise up, and they're going to persist, and they're going to eventually reach a breaking point as a whole. And that's what the heck we're seeing in the kingdom. Like, arguably, you could fix and mess with the programming of the Clockwork King to stop the cracks that formed with it. But that's a stopgap. More cracks in different ways are going to form. That's just how this sort of device works. That's why we don't have AI and machines doing everything. Fine-tune situational comprehension of scenarios is necessary, as well as human empathy and human learning beyond such. As great as AI has gotten in our everyday, we have nowhere near reached the point where it can properly replace people. We really haven't. And I don't think we technically will ever truly reach that point, at least not during my lifetime. We've come a long ways, but we're nowhere near that. And do you honestly think just because they hooked up a basic AI punch card computer into the basic building blocks of how this world works, with magic and everything, that's going to work any better? Anyways, guys, it's been an episode. I'm going to probably take a few days off between this episode and the next one because my throat is almost giving out, as you probably kind of heard. I occasionally hear it when I'm editing. I'll talk to y'all later. It's been fun. And until then, ciao.